The biggest property gains do not go to the people who buy a suburb when it is already famous. They go to the people who buy just before everyone else figures it out. Today we identify 10 Australian suburbs showing the early signals of a boom, and the indicators you can use to spot the next hotspot yourself. First, here is what we actually look for, because this is more valuable than any single suburb name. The early signals of a boom include new infrastructure being announced or built, a price ripple spreading out from a more expensive neighbor, the first wave of cafes and renovations appearing, and a growing gap between an area's amenity and its price. When several of these line up, a suburb is often on the edge of a run. Let's count down 10 showing these signs. Number 10. Elizabeth, in Adelaide's north. Riding Adelaide's broader strength, with affordable prices, improving amenity, and the ripple effect from rising suburbs closer to the city. Number 9. Devoran Park, also in northern Adelaide, an even more affordable neighbour, showing the classic early ripple signals. Number 8. Kwinana, in Perth's industrial south. Cheap, surrounded by employment, and swept up in the Perth boom with strong rental demand. Number 7. Logan Central, between Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Long overlooked and very affordable, it sits directly in the path of southeast Queensland's relentless growth. Number 6. Frankston North, in Melbourne's southeast. As the coastal Frankston area gentrifies, this cheaper neighbour shows the early ripple effect. Number 5. Elizabeth South, continuing the northern Adelaide theme, where the gap between low prices and improving amenity is striking. Number 4. Rockingham, on Perth's southern coast, where coastal lifestyle meets affordability and infrastructure investment. Number 3. Woodridge, in Logan, another affordable southeast Queensland suburb directly in the growth corridor. Number 2. Armidale, in Perth's southeast, which has already started moving, but may have further to run as the Perth cycle continues. And number 1, the suburb showing the strongest combination of early signals right now. Broadly, the outer southern growth corridor of Perth, around Baldivis and the surrounding new estates. Here is why it tops the list. This area combines almost every early indicator at once. Major population growth, significant infrastructure investment, proximity to employment, a coastal lifestyle, extremely tight rental supply, and prices that, despite recent rises, remain affordable relative to the opportunity. When you see population, infrastructure, jobs, lifestyle, and tight supply all pointing the same direction, that is about as strong an early signal as property ever gives you. Now, the essential warning, because spotting booms is risky. Early signals are not guarantees. Infrastructure projects get delayed or cancelled. Ripple effects can stall. A suburb that looks ready can sit flat for years if the broader market turns. 3 rules to protect yourself. First, never buy on a single signal. Look for several lining up together, the way they do in that Perth corridor. Second, always check supply. If a suburb is surrounded by endless land for new estates, oversupply can smother price growth even when demand is strong. Third, buy quality within the suburb. Even in a booming area, a well-located, well-built property will always outperform the worst house on the worst street. The real skill is not memorizing suburb names from a video, because those change with every cycle. The real skill is learning to read the signals yourself, so that whatever the market is doing, you can spot the next opportunity before the crowd. If you found this useful, hit subscribe, because we break down a different corner of the Australian property market every few days. See you in the next one. It is worth going deeper on the single most reliable early signal of all, which is infrastructure, because it is the one ordinary buyers can most easily track for themselves. When a government commits to a major new piece of infrastructure, a train line, a hospital, a university campus, a motorway, or a major employment hub, it permanently changes the appeal of the surrounding suburbs. A suburb that was previously hard to reach suddenly becomes well connected. An area with few jobs nearby suddenly has thousands. These changes take years to fully play out, which is exactly what gives an attentive buyer time to act before the full price impact arrives. The key is to watch for committed, funded projects, not vague promises, because plans are announced all the time and many never happen. There is also a more subtle early signal that experienced investors watch closely, which is the behavior of people, not just prices.